Yo, what is going on, my dudes? It is I, Daily Tactics here, back with a little bit more Star Wars Battlefront, but not just any Star Wars Battlefront. We are going to be playing every one of the mainline Star Wars Battlefront games today, from worst to best. We're starting off with Star Wars Battlefront, the first EA, and, you know, some people might actually enjoy this game. I was never super partial to it. I think it was kind of lazily done and lacked content, and that guy just one-shot me with the scatter gun. But I think we can all agree that it is definitely the worst Star Wars Battlefront game. Even if you love this game, all three other ones, the original Star Wars Battlefront as well. Scattergun! No, it's the shotgun! Same guy, though. Are you kidding me right now? Oh my goodness. Like I was saying before getting rudely interrupted. Oh, hello. Yeah, you're a little far away to use your shotgun this time, huh, Scout Trooper? Huh, well, I'm a little far away to use my pistol as well, so there's that, too. There we go. We got him. Huh. Finally. Well, I don't think anyone can argue that this is probably the worst of the Star Wars Battlefront games. We're not going to be including the PSP ones or the DS ones or anything like that because I don't have a capture card that I'm able to actually use on them. But if we were to include those ones, those might end up being worse than this one. I don't know, but this video is just not counting them, simply put. Either way, this game, honestly, the last time I played it, I actually had a decent amount of fun because I didn't get locked into a game with a ton of hackers, and we seem to be on the same trail this game. I haven't experienced a single hacker besides the OP scatter gun, but that's not exactly hacking, that's just content in the game. But this game does kind of have a rampant hacking problem nowadays. Lots and lots of people on here using aimbot, using hacked weapons, stuff like that. One of the most common ones I see is a proximity mine grenade launcher. So essentially it's a grenade launcher. I think it shoots from like an E11 rifle or something like that, but it shoots proximity mines at people and you can just rapid fire them out. And they might even be like homing tracking. I don't even know, man, but they are absolutely brutal. They one-shot kill you because it's a flippin' proximity mine coming straight at your face. There's just no way around it, basically. So, you know, that's one of those hacks that I've experienced quite a number of times. There we go. There we go. That guy didn't use the bubble. The bubble is a constant, you know, clutch move. Ow, what was that? Oh, was that a proximity mine? It might have been. I was too weak to take him on. Bruh. The bubble is clearly an OP weapon in this game. I didn't realize. In the new Battlefront 2, the bubble, it's pretty good, but it won't get you out of a jam like it does here. Ooh, we got a proximity mine. Speak of the devil. Let's toss one out there. And we got destroyed. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. Alright, popping back in here. I'm thinking I'll spend about 5 minutes on each game. So we got about 2 minutes left on this one. We're basically just going to play them. Revisit the old games, play some of the new Star Wars Battlefront 2, of course, and, you know, it's also simultaneously a bit of a tier list at the same time, so that's kind of sick. I remember I made a whole rant video about 4 or 5 months back about how much I hate this game, but revisiting it again without hackers and without being bitter about the lack of content in this game, I don't think it's as bad as I initially let on. It's just a game. It's just nothing to write home about. You know, it's not just this monstrosity that's terribly broken or anything like that. It's just, it lacks complete amounts of content. Like, this was not what we were promised, you know. It's just lacking in what a Star Wars Battlefront 2 game should be entirely. But, you know, there's nothing we can do about that now. It is obviously out of production, and they gave us a much better game with Star Wars Battlefront 2, so we can, at the very least, be happy about that. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. It's always the same guy. Chicago Bears fan keeps on slaughtering me, dude. Not cool, dude. Not cool in the slightest, brother man. Alright, let's run on up here and try and get at least one more kill before we end it there. There we go. Top player kill. Beautiful. Also, another thing is you cannot find a lobby of the 40-player game modes in this game. It's literally impossible. They just don't exist. Not enough people still play this game to get into those big lobbies. At least on the PC version, you can't. And then even on the the cargo lobbies, there's usually only 1 or 2 games available right now. And, you know, they're all the same 3 maps because there aren't many maps in this game available in the slightest. So it's a bit of a monstrosity. Either way, we've spent enough time on this game. Let's move on to the next game. Alright guys, here we are in the very original Star Wars Battlefront game. We're going to be playing as the clones. Come on, you guys know I love the clones. I cannot sit idly by while there are clone troopers available to play as. We're playing on the Yavin Temple map. This is one of my favorite maps from this game. To be honest, most of these maps are absolutely phenomenal. There is a reason I put this above the original Star Wars Battlefront from EA and DICE, because it's an actually good game. I have to say, I don't have bad things to say about any of the games coming up. This game and Star Wars Battlefront 2 EA and Star Wars Battlefront 2 the original are all absolutely excellent games. They are fantastic. I mean, some of them do have their problems or, you know, corporate greed, EA, but you know, from here on out, all the games are great. The only really bad addition to the Star Wars Battlefront franchise, I would say, was the original Star Wars from EA, and even that one, it was just a lack of content and development and things like that, and just sort of laziness. But overall, it's not the worst thing ever. Can we survive this? Yes, we can. Beautiful, fellas. This is one of the first games that really got me serious into gaming. I always played, like, on Nintendo games and things like that. I was a big Pokemon fan, big Mario fan, etc., etc. But this sort of took me from, you know, casual childhood gaming into the realm of shooters and things like that. It sort of bridged the gap for me between... Oh, God, how do I use... Jetpack. How do I use it? Wait, it's space. Huh. Okay, there we go. It sort of bridged the gap between sort of playing kids games like Pokemon and stuff like that, and moving on to more like Battlefield, Call of Duty, things like that. So this was a very important game in the development of sort of my gaming experience and career, I suppose, you know? This was the first game I had for an old Mac that my mom had in our family room. And I played the crud out of this. This and Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. Played these 2 games non-stop. It was just an absolute blast, if we're being completely honest. And not to say, of course, that Nintendo games or, you know, quote-unquote casual games are bad, because I still play Nintendo games constantly. I have a Switch, and it gets many, many hours of play. Right now I'm working through Pokemon... the revamped Mystery Dungeon series, because I'm just getting a nostalgia blowback from that, because I had it on my Game Boy Advanced originally. But you know, not to say those games are, you know, bad or anything. It's just a different market, you know. It's like this was bridging the gap between casual play and shooter games and more hardcore games, things like that. And I still love and yearn for more casual market games. I'm gonna get Animal Crossing eventually here, because I really want to play the new Animal Crossing, and I just haven't had the opportunity yet. You know, I can't wait for Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever they end up calling the next Zelda game. I think that's gonna be really, really sick. So, you know, not to hurt that reputation of style of gaming. I'm just pointing out that it's different, and this type of a game is what really introduced me to shooters and things like that for my later career and my later love for Star Wars as well. I mean, I feel like a lot of people in the comment section will have a dear nostalgia kick and like a dear love for this game when they see it again, you know? It's just a great game. But I also don't think it's as good as the second one, the sequel to this, as well as the, you know, EA Star Wars Battlefront 2. Those 2 games, I think, are just fundamentally better, but this game, I do cherish it, I do hold it at pretty high esteem. Either way, we are losing right now, and I am getting clapped by AI left and right. This is not good. We're completely surrounded. Oh, man. I'm out of practice on this game. That's what I'm going to blame it on. I'm out of practice. That, you know, it's not that I'm just absolutely terrible. It's that I'm out of practice. That's the easy way out, you know? Oh, my God. I can't hit a shot. Zoom in. Actually aim. Take your time. You know how it is. Oh, my God. This thing's just inaccurate. high heck. There we go. There's a kill. There's another kill. Bada bing. Yeah, baby. All right, let's G-nade this droideka. Didn't wipe out its shield. That's big sad. God, how many... There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's it, boys. That's it. All right, let's go yode ourselves forward, and then we can move on to the next Star Wars Battlefront game after we die. Yeah, that is the plan. Take out these super battle droids. Okay, we died. Very sad. All right, let's move on to the next game. All right, hot take alert, controversial take alert. I put Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original, below Star Wars Battlefront 2 EA. Maybe a few months ago, I wouldn't have done this, but in all honesty, I think the EA version has more content now. And I also think it is just... The refined modern graphics are absolutely beautiful. Maybe if Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original, had the exact same graphics as EA, then I would put it above EA. But there's something so nice about playing as like HD clone troopers and stormtroopers, and oh, it's just such a gorgeous and beautiful thing that we have been blessed with in the modern century, because for the longest time we could only imagine stormtroopers and clone troopers in, you know, such HD beauty. And now it's an actual reality, which is honestly kind of sick. So, I mean, there are some awesome map creators who are converting maps into HD, well, as close to HD as the game engine can get, such as Harrison Fogg. And this is an example of one of those maps. This is Felucia in HD fashion with HD clone troopers as well. You can see they're reworked and all that good stuff, which is really cool. But it's not the same as like a AAA game feel, you know? So I have to say it is just an absolutely epic thing that EA was able to bring us such an awesome experience. However, I have to say it is a very predatory game, you know, at least at the start. Nowadays they have gotten significantly better and all that, but, you know, remember that whole controversy at the beginning of the EA Star Wars Battlefront 2? But regardless, let's talk about this Battlefront 2 for a little bit, because I've been talking about the EA one for quite a while. I love this game. I mean, I remember going over to my friend's house and playing it on the PlayStation 2 non-stop for just absolute hours. This game had so much replayability. It was mainly just playing instant action, if we're being completely honest, but even the campaign was really cool. You got to play as the 501st quite a bit, even suppressing a clone trooper rebellion, which is awesome. Like, I'd never got to experience kind of lore like that before. You know, it's things you didn't really think about in the Star Wars universe that likely happened. But, you know, the fact that we were able to see it happen in games like this are really, really sick. So, to be kind of honest, like, the campaign was gorgeous, and that's probably the one thing that the EA campaign does not have over this, is that the Star Wars Battlefront 2 campaign is just significantly better. I also have to say, this game was really, really ambitious as well. I mean, the fact that you had ship-on-ship battles in space, we're not playing one of those right now, but that was pretty impressive at the time. Something I would have loved to have seen from the Battlefront 3 game that was inevitably canceled. That would have been really, really cool to see some, you know, ship-on-ship battles, and then they also had it planned so you could go then from a ship-on-ship battle into a ground invasion as well. So just think about how epic that would be, in all honesty. Like, God, it would have been so sick. So that's something we kind of get in the new Battlefront 2 with supremacy and all that, but it's, you know, it's not the same vision that the original devs had for this, you know. And this was, of course, just like the natural evolution of the original Star Wars Battlefront, you know? It was like they basically took what made the original Star Wars Battlefront great, and they added to it. You know, they didn't ruin it at all. They didn't ruin any of the aspects that people loved about the original. They just simply put on more. They just added more content. They updated the engine a little bit so the graphics look better and things like that, and, you know, just made it gorgeous. Just made it absolutely gorgeous. Also, you didn't have to do split-screen multiplayer either. You could do online. I never really did online because I think I was too dumb of a kid to figure it out. But I certainly did my share of split screen gaming and stuff like that. Actually, the original Star Wars Battlefront didn't have split screen gaming. I remember sometimes my friends and I would play on our old Mac, and we'd have one person controlling the mouse and one person controlling the keyboard, which was hilarious and didn't work in the slightest, but it was our way of being able to play the game together because we both loved it so much. So the addition of split screen gaming to this was really cool as well, you know? Oh, it's just a beautiful product of its time, I gotta say. Either way, that's our 5 minutes on this. They are up, and let's move on to obviously the last one here, Star Wars Battlefront 2, EA. All right, fellas, here we are in Star Wars Battlefront 2 EA. I honestly, yeah, like I said before, I just think this is the best one now. I mean, you get to play Star Wars in its full, beautiful HD quality that it deserves to be in. You really feel like you're a frontline soldier. Not to mention, I also think the, equipment system is really well done here. The refresh on the weapons after you've used them up is also really, really nice. I mean, the functionality of it all is great, too. The controls feel tight. It feels controllable. It's just a great game, honestly. It took them a while to get here. I mean, it took them a solid year or two to get here. And I honestly think maybe they should have just held off on releasing the game until they had gotten it perfect. But, yeah, at the end of the day, I guess at least we're here now at this position where it's great, rather than not having it at all, you know? Though I honestly do think they sort of released an unfinished product originally, and that is a dang shame right there. They really should have waited and refined what they had before releasing it. And also, be less money grubby, EA. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Come on. But I mean, recent improvements have been awesome too. They are not failing to update this game, adding new characters, adding new maps. I think it's great. They're just constantly developing it now, and I think they realize that if they do that, they can hold on to their fan base for quite a while without having to make a third Star Wars Battlefront. Though I think a third Star Wars Battlefront would be great, I just don't know what they would bring to the table in terms of that, you know? I mean, obviously all new maps would be great, but you're still gonna have the same same infantry, same characters, same stuff. It's just Star Wars at that point, you know? Whereas, like, the gap between Star Wars Battlefront, the first EA, and this Star Wars Battlefront 2, there was a major gap in content, and there were so many things that needed to be done. But if you were to do a game after this game, you'd have to have a pretty big reinventing, I feel like, because there's already so much here. I'd almost rather they keep on updating this game instead, because I just don't see a point in releasing a third. Though I have heard some rumors that they might at some point in the near future release a third Star Wars Battlefront game. I'd honestly rather see, you know, Republic Commandos back or something like that, you know? Release something dope like that. I mean, we did just get Jedi Fallen Order, which was sick, so hopefully they maybe for their next single player experience go to the Clone Wars, maybe a little Clone Wars content. I mean, in all honesty, I'm pretty sure on Star Wars Battlefront 2, the most popular content is the Clone Wars. Usually whenever I try to find a game for co-op or Supremacy, it's always Age of the Republic that people are playing. You know, Resistance and the Empire, they get some, you know, players because those are fun factions as well. And I mean, we're playing as them right now, but you could always tell that the lobbies and stuff for the Clone Wars content is pretty full up, and I think that's just because that war is way more interesting than the Resistance's war, and of course the original trilogy war is sick, and it holds a special place in many people's hearts for starting it all. But like, there's something so cool about the clone troopers versus the droids, and I think the Clone Wars TV series really brought that to life and made it such a profitable and you know, cool thing for fans to see in video game form. So I think they should take advantage of that and produce something that people will really love. Just my take there. I don't think it's a hot take. I think it's a pretty lukewarm take, but there it is. There you have it, fellas. Either way, we're not doing too hot. 3 kills, 5 deaths. I'm, in fact, doing very mediocre, and there is BB-8. No, that's BB-9E, whatever the heck the evil one is that we never really learned about beyond beyond that one seed in The Last Jedi. I still don't understand why they made BB-8 and the other evil BB-8, the 2 droid characters for heroes. Like, why not do R2-D2? Or I don't know who the evil one could be. Lord Gonk and the medical droid, for goodness sake. Just BB-8 and the random evil one that we never got to see more than 2 seconds of time on. It's just like, who cares? I feel like BB-8's not that popular of a character, you know? Not as much as R2-D2, but they really want to boost him as a popular character. You know, he's always in all of the marketing for any Star Wars product now. Whereas it's like, R2-D2 is infinitely cooler, dude. They're trying to like kill off R2-D2 and C-3PO. You could tell. I mean, the way they never used R2-D2 in the sequel trilogy is showing, you know? Either way, guys, I played pretty horribly in all of these games, but it was really fun to revisit them. I hope you enjoyed too. Comment down below what you think about my list here. Which order would you put it in? Do you still revisit these games? Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below. Like the video. All the good stuff. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.